tuning in to episode 15 of Wool Gathering Collective. My name's Meredith, and you can find me on both Instagram and Ravelry as Mero Shop, MEREOSHOP. I've got a very packed episode today, and I'm leaving the best to last, sort of, or the most exciting till the very end. So I'm going to try to keep it slow, keep it calm, pace myself, because I don't want to rush through everything else that I have to share. Today is June 29th, and it's Wednesday. It's a very, very rainy day out there. So I'm going to try to make sure that I edit out any time where like a car goes by on the road, you can hear it really rainy, because that would definitely be distracting. Anyhow, the first segment I want to start out with is like hello and welcome. I wanted to say thank you so much for being my cheerleader the past week. A couple of you actually sent me private messages on Ravelry and said I looked kind of blue or sad the last episode, and you were kind of concerned and just wanted to encourage me. I maybe was a little blue doing an episode solo, but honestly, I think I was just tired. We had been out on the beach earlier in the day, and you know how it gets when you have a relaxing weekend away. You just kind of get into lazy zone. But thank you again for all the private messages, all of the Ravelry comments, the YouTube comments, and everything like that. So, as I said, you know where to find me on Ravelry and Instagram. On YouTube, I'm Wool Gathering Collective, but honestly, if you're watching that, you already know that. So, can you believe I don't have anything on the needles this week to show you? It's true. Well, there's no new things on the needles to show you yet. There's lots of old things on the needles that I'm still working on, but nothing really that I feel is necessary for you to see. In terms of finished projects, I do have one. It's the test knit that I was talking about for Kemper, Wray of Junk Yarn. And again, I can't show you yet. Her pattern is out, so you can see that, but mine is not blocked yet. So I want to show you the whole experience and not just a shriveled mess of Madeline Tosh. Although that sounds pretty good too, actually. Today in Curating Life, I wanted to tell you about some fiber I received. Well, I bought it, but I bought it from a girl I talked about last week, Anna from Ploome Fiber Arts. So it's some of her spinning fiber, and it doesn't have a colorway. Hand dyed top by Anna Mathis. Isn't it pretty? So I have 3 little 50-gram hanks of this. We went out to her studio, as I was saying, and it was really great to see her new space, and I'm excited for all she's going to be doing out there. And I definitely wanted to support her by getting some fiber, and I plan to take a spinning class from her, or like maybe private lessons in the fall, because I want to improve how I spin bulky singles, because when I first started spinning I could do that no problem, but then as I perfected my technique, my singles got thinner and thinner and thinner, and now I couldn't spin a bulky if I wanted to, and I do want to. So that same weekend, or the next weekend, TJ and I went to the village of Gagetown which is about 35-40 minutes away from our house. And the main purpose of our trip was to go see, I'm trying to find it here. To go see a house that was at the Queens County Heritage Center. And it is the Loomcrofter studio. And I'm not sure how much you know about weaving or like cottage industry enterprises, but New Brunswick was quite notorious for cottage industry businesses, typically started by women, and this was no exception. It was very interesting. This particular place was started by a lady, and she ran it right up almost until her death, and the building was adorable. It's one of the oldest buildings, working buildings in Canada, and it had been originally built as, I believe, a supply depot for the British military. When we were inside, every beam and board had a number on it. And the curator was saying that one of the reasons they think that was because when it was being used as an outpost, either it was like the pieces were made one place, shipped, and then put together once they reached Canada, or either that or it was moved. So that was really neat, kind of like a paint by numbers house, but 3D. Anyway, that doesn't make sense. While we were there, we went to a little charity shop, and the lady that we met inside was obviously a volunteer, and she was talking about the woman who opened this charity shop in the village of Gagetown got the idea when she was visiting Ireland, because she would often see little charity shops in every village. And it's funny because when my friend Whitney and I were there in Ireland, we noticed the same thing. Tons of charity shops. And anyway, small world, but I picked up this little ditty at the charity shop in Gagetown. It's a Weave It. It's kind of in rough shape, the box, but the inside has all the pieces. Here's the directions. Good shape, and you can tell someone was counting. Oh, they're counting on it. And then here's the needle. It's really scary. Then here's the little information booklet. There's even afghans and coats on here. I don't know about that. But, so this says, it's from Meaford, Massachusetts. And it says that it shows like all the other booklets here you can buy. Weave It, book number 3, Home and Wardrobe, 25 cents. So I wonder what year this was. Anyhow, here is the loom. Or the Weave It. I've seen things like this. They never really interested me, but the fact that this was $1 and was in such great condition, couldn't leave it there. Couldn't leave it there for someone who didn't appreciate it. But the funny thing is, this was in that charity shop in the town where the Loomcrofter studios were so popular. But I guess not everybody knows about weaving or wants to learn. That's fine. I did mention on Instagram today, actually, this yarn. Regia, Pairfect cotton. Somebody was asking if it has stretch. That's a yes. And I suppose, logically, it would have to, because we know that cotton is a non-elastic fiber. So if you're going to make socks out of it, it needs something else. All right. The fiber composition is 72% wool. No, sorry. 72% cotton, 18% polymade, and 10% polyester. So I know a girl who would love this because she's allergic to wool. So I'm gonna cast it on. I may even do it tonight. And then I can blame my friend for this acquisition. I'm gonna call it a purchase, not an acquisition. This purchase. It's a skein of Fleece Artist. I don't know the colorway, but it's just really soft and beautiful. I have some friends who are expecting baby girls this year, so I thought maybe something out of this. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of washing out. It's very subtle anyhow. All right, and the store where I bought this stuff, for any of you who are traveling through northern New Brunswick, is the Spinning Wheel Yarn Shop. And it's on King Avenue in Bathurst. And it was really great. I honestly didn't have high hopes. I thought it would be more like mass market yarns, acrylic, things for Afghans, that kind of thing, but they had a really great selection. They had gorgeous yarn bowls by a local potter. They carried Knitter's Pride things, I believe, tools and whatnot. Fleece Artist. They had Plymouth yarns. What else? They had Cruel wool for embroidery, which it's very hard to find actually in this area. And yeah, it was a very pleasant shopping experience. The owner's husband was there, and he was great. He made a comment. What was it? Oh, he made a comment about getting yarn that was all the same dye lot. And I thought, she has educated him well. He knows what to check for. So if you're ever in that area, like I said, the Spinning Wheel Yarn Shop in Bathurst, I would highly recommend it. All right, let's talk Woolies, because in episode 14, I did not have the Woolies segment, and then I felt disappointed in myself afterwards, because it's usually one of my favorites. This is where the generosity of knitters is going to come shining through, all right? Woolies, you are amazing. I know I thanked you earlier, but I have some tangible examples about how generous and community-orientated knitters are in the Woolies section today. Before I jump into all of that, though, I want to highlight the project of the episode. And it is Bill the Knitted Sheep by Bestemorskills. She knit it in Garn Studio Drops Cloud, and the pattern is by Pearl Soho. I actually saw one of these samples when I was there last month, and it was really cute. And I'm sure that your version is just as adorable. Today I came home to the nicest package from Dana Ray 19. We have already done one mini skein swap together, and we decided to do another one. And she is way ahead of the game. She mailed hers already. Mine is ready to go. But then I checked the cutoff date for when you can mail things in terms of this impending postal strike. and I missed the deadline. And so it's kind of like, do I send it now and then have it stuck in limbo for who knows how long? Or do I just keep it and wait? I'm not sending it like UPS or Purolator. It would cost a ridiculous amount of money to send it. So I'm really disappointed in myself for not sending it as soon as I should have. I actually have 6 parcels to mail. 4 of them I'm going to go to Holton, Maine this weekend and mail those from there. So they're coming. You know who you are. Alright, so the parcel from Dana was just really nice. There was a little bag of buttons. Yay for buttons. I love buttons. When I was younger, I had a obsession with buttons, and I had them all categorized by color. So I had bins full of each color. I'm not quite so particular about that anymore, but you know, I have my moments. She also sent a little baggie full of rockets. And in Canada, these are called rockets. Alright? In the States, these are called Smarties. I know this because I went to an American high school. They're like a chalky sugar candy. So, Canada, rockets, US, Smarties. In Canada, we have our own Smartie treat. It's like a candy covered chocolate. Yeah. Dana also made a precious little Notions pouch with rickrack on it. Goes perfect with my pigtails today. And little teacups and birds. And I love the gingham. I must say, Dana, you overdid yourself. Outdid yourself. You did a really good job. Really great. I love the lace. It's perfect. It's sweet and fun. Just like me. No. Kidding. That's great. And now, there were also mini skeins. Now, of course, what's a mini skein swap without mini skeins? This is called the Unplanned Peacock. That's a fun name. Plucky Knitter, Primo Fingering, Strike a Pose. As I said, it's really rainy out, so some of the colors look a little blah compared to what they are. Hugh Loco, Phyllis Sock, Coltrane. Love Gray. Plucky Knitter, Primo Fingering in Plie. Gorgeous. Plucky Knitter, Primo Fingering in Wonderlust. I have that right now. Helen Stewart just sent out her newsletter announcing her next retreat. Yeah, I gotta hide the credit card. Macaroon. Plucky Knitter Fingering. And not only are these colors beautiful, they all go so well together too. More Plucky, French Lavender. Oh, sorry, French Laundry. Madeline Tosh, 80-10-10 Fingering in Dapper. These are great. Plucky Knitter, Oxford, Strut Your Stuff. This one is way more teal in person. Can't tell. And then 3 gorgeous Hugh Loco colorful ones. That's amazing, Dana. Thank you so much. Now, what I've been dying to get to today has been talk about the hashtag 2016 Canada Cal. It's unofficially started now. One of the rules is that you can swatch prior to July 1st, which is Canada Day, and you can also enter unfinished objects into the knit-along. Now, a quick rundown of the rules are essentially, in order to qualify, you don't have to be Canadian. You do have to be a member of the Wool Gathering Collective group, and you must knit, spin, crochet, or weave something made out of Canadian yarn, or something designed by a Canadian. I hope that makes sense. You don't have to be chitty-chatty in the threads or anything, but when the Cal closes in September, you do need to have a finished object in the FO thread if you want to be eligible for any of the prizes. And let me tell you, you do want to be eligible for the prizes because they are blowing me away. As part of this whole new, be yourself, make this podcast, truly me now, instead of, working with someone to create a totally different product, I decided to reach out to some Canadian yarnies and designers that I admire. And I just made this simple ask. I'm doing a knit-along. Can you help me? And the response has been a resounding yes. So, I am going to list for you the people I have confirmed giving prizes right now. Some of these are prizes to be drawn from the FO thread, and some of these, either in addition to or apart from prizes, they're also offering a promo code for the duration of the Cal, and some of them are only offering a promo code for July. Some are offering only for 2 weeks in July. So when you go to the group and look on the threads, make sure you take note of when any promo codes might end, because I wouldn't want you to be disappointed. All right, let's talk prizes. So for anybody who enters a picture of an FO describing how it's Canadian in the thread, they will be entered to win a prize. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to bundle prizes together or simply draw 1, 1, 1, 1. We'll see. All right, so Owls on Dante's. She is offering a set of Canadian stitch markers, and they are very patriotic. Heidi K Designs is offering a pattern to 3 separate winners. You would probably recognize Heidi's designs. She did, I think most notably, the Vitamin D cardigan. Heidi Karaminer, I believe is how maybe you say her name. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Very Shannon, or Shannon Cook, she has also offered 3 patterns to 3 separate winners. Sylvia McFadden, who you may know as Sylvia Bobilvia, is again offering some patterns as well. She's the girl that designed the Waiting for Rain shawl and the Sunlight shawl for sad people. Those are her designs. Andrea Rangel, she is a great Canadian designer from out west. Well, let's face it, all of these people are great Canadian designers. She is offering a free pattern from her library, and a copy of her new book, Rugged Knits, to 2 individual winners. Now, let's talk yarn and promos. Yarn Indulgences is offering a skein of Zed Luxe sock in her MCN base. I think she might also have a promo code, so you'll have to check that out. Trailhead Yarns, I believe it's going to be offering some either yarn or fiber. Agrestol Yarn is offering a skein of her Bow River lace, which is 100% alpaca, and she's also offering a promo code. The Blue Brick is offering a skein of her DK base in an ombre colorway. And like I said, you can find those on the Ravelry group. All of the knit along posts are tagged with 2016 Canada Cal. I believe there's 3. There's a promo thread, there's a prizes thread, there's 4. An FO thread, and then like an announcement chatter thread. So please join the group, hop on over there, get chatting, and I can't wait to hear maybe like what you have planned, what you want to work on. And it's not just myself that is doing this knit along. The girls from Two Tangled Skenes podcast are the brainchilds behind this. So they definitely have different prizes on their threads, different chatter, and a few different rules too. So double dipping is absolutely encouraged. And yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I have some of my projects planned. I'm going to knit with some Viola yarn, do her favorite sock pattern. And I'm going to use some Fleece Artist on the Talisman shawl. And who knows what else. The Cal's going for 3 months, so there's lots of time. Yesterday on Instagram, I posted a photo of some mini skeins that I was preparing for Lucia of Pearl of the Pacific. And Mrs. Neville's Art asked, what's the best way to make mini skeins? I'm still a relatively new knitter. Well, I wanted to show you, Whitney, exactly how I do it. I did not come up with this method, but I learned it from a pro. And there's definitely plenty of ways. So you can do a little skein like this one. You can do a longer skein. Really, it all just depends on how long you wrap it. So, for instance, this particular skein was wrapped in a circle, maybe around a swift or around like the back of a small chair or whatnot. Pretty small. Like if you were to do this around your elbow, it wouldn't reach. Maybe if you were a kid doing it, it would. That's how if I'm going to skein mine up, I typically will do that. I'll wrap it around and go, well, why don't I just show you? Alright, so there's a couple ways, as I said. You can take your yarn, loop it around until it's all together. It's a good idea to secure the ends, but that's not 100% necessary. So you take it here and you twist. Either direction is fine. Once you pick a direction, you do it to completion in that way. So here we go. I like to get it fairly snug because when you finish it up, you might lose some of the twist. So if it's too loose to begin with, it's going to get sloppy. So it's got a good twist in it, and you can see how when I bring the ends together, it crimps up on each other, which is what you want. So you can use, like I could use this right here. I could use my thumb, sort of. Anything that you can kind of put in the middle of the skein and anchor it. So I'm going to use my thumb in this instance. and I'm going to pinch the tops together, and I'm going to let it twist. And then I'm going to like just tuck one end into the other end. There you go. They're not quite as nice and neat and tidy as Dana's are. Another thing you can do is a really cute little center pull ball. All right. So here's how I start mine. I wrap it around my finger a couple times, and this piece establishes the center pull. All right. Then I do a butterfly, and that's where I go over the top two, under the bottom two. And I just do that several times until I get a good little chunk going. You may remember in episode 2, Claire Parks showed us how to do a butterfly bundle of yarn. It's a bit different than this, but same premise. You should be able to pull on it and have it not get tangled up. So I did a bunch, and I took it off my fingers, and I like to fold it in half. Okay, but here's my end piece, my center pull piece. And I just hold on to that, keep it out of the way. So I kind of have a little messy bundle. So I'm just going to start wrapping. You can sing to yourself or, I don't know, whatever while you're doing that. So I get it going, and then I fold it again. And I do it around the middle again. All right, here's the fun part. I'm going to get closer. All right, now I'm going to take it and I'm going to go just wind towards my finger, like 6 or 7 wraps. And then I'm going to turn it about quarter of the way around and do that again. So I'm pinching the top and the bottom of the ball. I'm going to turn it again. And you can see how my fingers there, and how every time I turn it, it's on either side of my finger. I hope this is making sense. So once I go all the way around, I want to take my little ball and then wrap the yarn right around the middle. All right, now I'm not done because I still have more yarn to wind. So I repeat those last 2 steps, like winding it this way, turning it, winding it this way, and turning it and winding it and turning it and winding it, and then doing it around the middle until my yarn's done. And I end up with a cutesy little ball. Oops, slippery little ball. I think it's mohair, that's why. It's Fleece Artist mohair. And anyway, I can just pull the yarn right out of the middle and knit. So I hope, Whitney, that was helpful. If not, I'm sure there are better and more clear tutorials out there, but I wanted to show you a couple of my favorite ways. So I think that's all for today, folks. I have truly enjoyed talking to you, and I look forward to our next meeting. In the next episode, I'm going to be interviewing Sam of Trailhead Yarns. She recently developed a wool allergy and has now had to recreate her business using plant-based fibers.